Why male feminists deserve compassion. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and I've gotten more than one request to make a video about male feminists ever since back before I had less than 1,000 subscribers, and I have been putting it off mainly because so many videos have been made about them. Sargon's video in his series, Why Do People Hate Feminism, about male feminists, largely really says everything that needs to be said and shows really good examples of how awful these guys really are. And yes, they are awful in their behavior. This video you're watching right now was actually inspired by a video by my friend Miss Misa that I'll link in the description, where she talks about how annoying male feminists are, and I think she really covers all of the bases about what exactly these guys do so often that is really annoying. Even she, a mixed-race, bisexual girl that has actually suffered from some pretty bad abuse from an ex-boyfriend, still gets lectured and treated like garbage when she tries to tell male feminists that she isn't a feminist and why. So you should watch the video if you want to be reminded of why people hate these dudes. However, despite the fact that these guys treat people like crap, which I also get into in my video Homophobia Because She Said So, which I will also link in the description, where I explain the ways in which straight guys treat gay men like crap, basically because feminists told them that it was permissible. Even in light of all of that, I try to throw them a small bone. Not a big one, granted, because of their completely horrendous repeated actions and because there are so many intelligent, well-spoken, and articulate non-feminist males out there who should remind us all that nobody has to be this pathetic, but still, due to my current worldview that has inspired me to have compassion for males in general, I feel compelled to emphasize a tad bit with what these guys must be going through, and why exactly they lash out at anybody that isn't a feminist. I'll keep my compassion confined to straight males, though, for the purposes of this video. Here's the thing to remember. These guys didn't just wake up and decide to randomly start reading Everyday Feminism, Jezebel, and watching Cat Black videos. They were guilted and shamed into identifying as male feminists, often their entire lives, in their schools, by pop culture, and by their peers, often even by their families. They were shamed for doing anything boyish when they were children by feminist teachers that wished that they would stop wanting to play paper football at their desks when they were done with their work, and instead would draw pictures of butterflies like the girls did, instead of pictures of battlefields like they tended to want to. They were shamed by Anita Sarkeesian for enjoying video games that they enjoyed, and if they pointed out that she was clearly lying about the content of games like Hitman Absolution, they were shamed for not listening and believing, as if that made them sexist. All the while, despite the fact that they were the ones being relentlessly attacked for their genders, they were told that they had male privilege. They were told that they needed to work harder to make sure that the females in their lives weren't being treated unfairly, because allegedly they all were. I want to let you guys in on a little secret about me. If I had been a straight guy, I probably would have ended up a male feminist, at least for a little while in the 1990s, when I was particularly impressionable. I genuinely think that the only reason I have always been internally resistant to feminism was because of the fact that I am a minority and suffered through a lot of bullshit for being gay in my youth, which I did not at all see matched in my lesbian peers. Had it not been for the fact that I could easily point to the disparity between how much I was bullied in comparison to how much my homosexual female counterparts were bullied, as a way to tangibly realize that I didn't have male privilege, had it not been for that, I might have eaten up the entire dish that they were serving instead of mere fragments that I accidentally swallowed. I know countless straight male feminists in my extended social circle, or at least guys that are sympathetic to feminism and feel like they aren't allowed to question it due to the consequences that would happen in their lives at work or in their personal lives. Some of them are mostly nice guys, even if they have treated me rather badly when they found out that I wasn't a feminist. They became completely disinterested in my perspective and started white knighting for their ideology. It sucked for me, but I have to think about why they did it. I think what it really is that inspires these guys to lash out at non-believers is that these guys are the ones hurt most by feminism. So they resent the fact that the very people that they think feminism is helping often don't even want their help. These guys have been beaten down for who they are, told indirectly that their feelings don't matter, while simultaneously being lied to about the idea that their feelings supposedly do matter to feminists, and told that they need to deny reality and push a false narrative that they know deep down is untrue simply to help other people. Thus, when these guys decided to do all of that in order to help women, in order to help trans people, and to even help gay dudes like myself out, and then it turned out that a lot of us don't want that help, and we think that feminism is actually harming us, them, and the entire world, well, imagine how much that fucking stings. I mean, that would suck, right? To realize that people don't want you to be a feminist after all that. So no, I'm not saying to start being nice to these guys. I'm not saying you should do anything besides argue tit for tat when it comes up, deprogramming them from their brainwashing until hopefully this ideology vanishes completely for the rest of our lives, hopefully never surfacing again, though that's doubtful. However, I do hope I have given you guys some insight into why exactly these male feminists act the way that they do, so that next time you talk to them, you can predict what they are going to say a bit better. Because predicting one's opponent's arguments is always the best way to win a debate. That's all I have to say for this video. If you thought it was helpful, please consider donating to me on PayPal or Patreon. Links in the description, and stay tuned.